Ted Cruz continues his string of absurd comments surrounding the discussion of defunding Obamacare and the connection between that and the government shutdown. And now he was on Meet the Press, and he had an incredible suggestion. We don't need Obamacare. We just need people to do what? Here's what he had to say.
You don't think Americans will like it? You don't think that 25% of the state of Texas that's uninsured will actually like the expanded access to get health insurance?
I don't, and here's why. Because it's not working. What's happening, if you want people to get health insurance, the best way for them to get health insurance is to get a job. And Obamacare is the biggest job killer in this country.
There you go, Lewis. If you don't have health insurance, don't rely on Obamacare. Just go and get yourself a job. Get yourself a job. I have such a, we need a, Lewis, I know sometimes that we have to do this. We need a multi-layered analysis for this issue. Layer one is the obvious one, which is actually having a job shouldn't be the best way and the primary way to get healthcare. If we were able to disconnect employment to healthcare, we would give people the ability to be more self-realized and make decisions about their jobs and lives that don't depend simply on maintaining what in many cases is mediocre healthcare coverage to begin with. We should be disconnecting employment from healthcare to avoid healthcare coverage being a wedge or a provider of leverage to any of the parties that are involved in employment. And further, freedom, Lewis, liberty, what presumably members of the Republican Party want, would increase if you were no longer hindered by your healthcare coverage being connected to your job so that you can really be free and do what you want. Isn't the freedom libertarian thing to do to remove the connection between health insurance and your job?
I would think so. But I can't get into Ted Cruz's head.
That's layer one. Okay, that's layer one of the analysis of, hey, if you need health insurance, get a job instead of waiting around for Obamacare. Layer two is that speaking just based on fact. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, Ted Cruz is just wrong about who is uninsured in this country. Over 6 in 10 of the uninsured have at least one full-time worker in their family. 16% have a part-time worker in the family. Combine that. That's 76% of those without insurance work, most of them full-time, some of them part-time. Forget about whether or not we should have the connection between health insurance and employment. Forget about that for a second. It's just not true that those who don't have insurance don't have it because they don't work.
There's even one more level here, which is the most mind-blowing of all. And that is it is because of the Affordable Care Act, which Ted Cruz is trying to defund, that if you work 30 or more hours, you will be able to get health care with your employer, because otherwise, before this act, they would have done their best to keep you under 40 to avoid giving you health care.
It's amazing. You're making a good point, Lewis. And it's amazing that Ted Cruz telling people without health insurance to get a job, we did a few minutes of analysis and we found 3 layers there. That one sentence is responsible and connected to so much nonsense and misinformation and misunderstandings about the reality of healthcare and employment in this country. It's amazing that with just one line, Ted Cruz can give us so much material. That's really the amazing thing.
You know what? Ted Cruz is the guy for that. Just about everything he says is worthy of analysis, and we could probably go on for hours about it.